1 tier list. I am moving on to the next tier list of the roster, which is how fun each killer is to go against. I did this a few months ago, but opinions have changed. Yes, quite a few opinions have changed. Have changed? Hold on. I can speak English. I've been speaking English for like an hour 30 to varying degrees of success. Listen. I can't make any promises on that. Although I can't say, I think she... Oh god, I don't remember where I actually ranked her originally. Adds any second, by the way, for anyone that doesn't have subs to Turbo. If you're wondering what the smash is, well, we can get into that later. But, yeah, so this is... I'm gonna try and be a bit more concise, since I think I've made a lot of points on most of the killers and how much fun I have, generally, with them. So, unless it's a killer where it's an opinion that's changed a good amount, I'll probably be a bit more concise. Starting with Trapper, predictably, Trapper's in C tier. Trapper's a weak killer. Trapper's a boring killer. There's not much to bring to the table. It doesn't feel good to step in his traps, but at the same time, it doesn't feel good to whoop a Trapper either, because they're just an M1 killer. There's no real exciting chase or counterplay. So I don't really have that much enjoyment out of whooping a Trapper. Wraith is going in A tier. I know that some people really don't like Wraith, but I have experience with Wraith, so I know how some Wraiths try to play the character. And I think it's having that knowledge with playing Wraith is what makes him feel much more fun to me. As well as the fact that he's stealth killer. I generally like playing against stealth killers because I love a good scare. And let's be real, I do get scared a good amount. If anyone was there during the fucking anniversary, they saw basically all of December and how it was just a compilation of me screaming at fucking Lethal Company. Yeah. Wraith is fun overall because he's an M1 killer, but he's because of the stealth and I guess the speed when he uncloaks. To a degree. He's generally I'm sorry. I'm hesitating now because I just put Trapper in C for being an M1, but this is literally the embodiment of M1, and I'm putting him in A. I think it's just the fact that you can outmaneuver him, I guess. You have mobility, and you have mobility through him being invisible or his decloak. That's what I like. Because if those mind games can be really nice if you make it work. Perhaps predictably, Hillbilly's an S tier. I mean, even with his buffs making him stronger, that doesn't stop him from being fun. Hillbilly has always been fun to play against, and now that he's strong, it actually feels like a good, fun challenge now when you play against Hillbilly. That's what I like about him. Again, I'm sorry, Sad, I know you love Nurse, but Nurse is D tier for me. I just don't like how different her playstyle is. It doesn't feel good to play against for me. There's other killers I hate more. There's other killers that I hate. Well, I guess I shouldn't say hate. Hate's strong. There's other characters I dislike more than her, but I don't like playing against the hurt Nurse. I'll still say this. As much as she's not fun for me, at least the match is gonna be over soon. So I'll give her that. Myers goes in B tier. He's fun, maybe a little iffy if he's because of he's weak. He's got two add-ons that can kill you on the spot that don't feel good. But it feels a little disproportionate to base going against him off of two add-ons. Drop Myers to C for Tombstone. See, I don't want to drop him to C. Okay, Sad. Damn it. Yes, you're right. The smash is for Knight. Okay, here we'll just do that now. Yeah, Knight is smash. In terms of going against him, I honestly think Knight's an A tier. I've warmed up to his power, even if it feels pretty oppressive. He's a smash, though. Like, I'm sorry. Absolutely smash. But going back to Myers, he doesn't just have Tombstone. That's why I'm not dropping him to C. Tombstone sucks to play as. It's his strongest add-on. You might see it a lot. But you also have other playstyles of Myers that are extremely fun, like Mirror Myers. That's like a complete polar opposite to going against a Tombstone. Mirror Myers are some of the most fun games I've ever had in this game, even despite the fact that there's other killers I love much more than him. And it's due to his invariability and also slight weakness that I think he's overall fun to go against, if a bit boring overall. Or at least just overall, I guess. I don't like inconsistency in killers when I go against them. Hag, I don't necessarily like, but I also have been trying to warm up to her because she's a stronger trapper, and she has really interesting. When people aren't playing in certain ways with Hag, she has a lot of interesting stuff at her disposal. That's pretty honestly not that bad to go against. So with that being said, I think she's top of C tier. Honestly, I don't dislike her as much anymore. Although, like, I still think she's overall a bit boring, but I can't deny she's got a lot at her disposal. And that, a lot, is, I don't know, maybe I just warmed up to it a lot. Speaking of Doctor is the bottom of B tier. He feels, the more I've come to play this game, the more I've come to learn Doctor's just Doctor. Yeah, he exists. I don't really feel it that strongly anymore, whether or not he's fun or not. And again, I don't feel it's completely fair to judge him off of, like, impossible skill check. I don't like impossible skill check Doctor, but I'm not going to let that lower him for me, because getting past it, he's just an M1 killer that has anti-loop that is a bit tricky to counter, I guess, if they're gonna spam their power. I don't know. I don't really feel that strongly against them anymore. I used to hate them when I was newer. I think a lot of people still hate them, regardless if they're new or not, but I don't know. I just don't feel anything towards them anymore. You know, on second thought, if I don't feel anything towards him anymore, he's going to C tier. Fuck it. Because I don't dislike him. Not at all. I just don't feel anything for him anymore. I'll put him above Hag then, technically. Because although Hag is interesting, I would still rather go against the Doctor than Hag. So. Still hate Doctor. That's fair. I mean, if it's a Doctor that just... I mean, the point of their power is to stop you from doing shit. So... I don't know. I just don't feel anything for him anymore. I don't feel hatred for him, but I don't think I feel any enjoyment playing against them either. I don't feel enjoyment or pain. So the Doctor would probably not be very happy with me because I would just stand there and stare at him, just be like, "What do you want me to do? Scream?" Huntress. For the longest time, I've enjoyed Huntress. I am so on the fence with her now, just because of the 7 hatchet base kit. I understand the buff. I understand, like, what they were going for. I just think it was unwarranted. I've to this day felt that she did not need that buff. If she was reverted to if she had all the changes but she didn't have the hatchet buff, I probably would leave her in... I probably would leave her in the... Fuck, I don't even remember where I ranked her. I get what they were doing. They wanted to make her better on indoor maps. And I will say, with the extra hatchets, it did make her feel nicer to play than when she had 5. But, I don't know. It's a similar case to Doctor now, except I can at least say there's an ounce of enjoyment to be had, because yeah, good Huntresses can be oppressive as fuck, And with 7 hatchets, I'm often gonna forget after the 5th one. She's probably got 2 more up her ass ready to throw at me. I'm still getting used to those fucking changes. But dodge, I don't know. I at least feel good dodging her hatchets. I'm gonna put her in B. I don't feel too strongly about her, but I will say, I'll put her below Myers. But she is the ass crack of B. She is at the bottom of B. I don't think I can put her any lower. Bubba is Billy, but Bubba is Billy, but weaker, funnier, still enjoyable. Okay, I'll put him in A tier. The only issue again is people that try to camp with him, because well, he's very good at it, even with all the changes to his power. I don't know. Getting past that, I think he's still very fun to play, or play against. He's very fun to play against. Fuck. I even know what I know what to say, and yet I still fail to say it. I will say he does feel nicer at some whips compared to Billy. He's like, he's an interesting case, Bubba is, but generally, yes, I think I do like him. I like him quite a bit going against him. When it's bad, it is bad, but when it's good, it's pretty good. Freddy. Bubba is goofy. I also just love Bubba's... I don't know what it is about him, but I love his noises. That might also be why I'm putting him higher up, just because I like his noises. But, I don't know. He can feel more fun or less fun, depending on the loop. Compared to him versus... When going against him, compared to going against a Billy. Depending on what you can do, he can be really nice to mind game. And just loop with. So I think for as much fun as he is, Billy's still superior. And I'll put him below Wraith. The instant down is a little annoying, I guess. So I'll fuck it. All right. I mean, as a surprise to no one, again, Freddy's just mediocre. I don't hate it going against him, but I don't hate going against him, but the second he puts me to sleep in game, not only is Quentin's head gonna be sagging from sleepwalking all the damn time, I'm gonna be fucking asleep at my desk playing him, just because if they're playing pallets, then they're fun, because yeah, it sucks to fall for a fake pallet, but at the same time, like, I don't know, there's something about a fake pallet that brings a little bit of enjoyment, but most of the time, Freddy's just there. I don't really feel anything. Sorry. Pig is B tier. Her stealth, I like that. Is this tier list stream going on YouTube? I'm probably going to have to edit these tier lists into separate videos for YouTube. That's what's probably going to happen. But moving on to Pig, I think she's generally fun. The reverse bear traps can be problematic, but I mean, I've never really encountered a pig that I can say wasn't fun to go against. I generally like. Also, this is not a good looking spread so far of the fucking. It'll change eventually. You're gonna go croissant, righty. Get plenty of EP Viper. Thanks for sticking around so long. And for the gift sub, much love. Appreciate that. Take care. But yeah, I like her stealth. I like her ambush. And although the reverse bear traps have fun tearing, I will. Although the reverse bear traps can sometimes suck, I guess Boop the Snoot makes up for that. It's not very proportionate in me saying that, but Boop the Snoot makes up for it. Clown. Well, if you know me, you know I don't like Clown. I'm sorry. I used to think he was funny as fuck with his laughing, but playing against him, he just doesn't feel good to play against. Now that he doesn't have the, now that he doesn't have all that visual fuckery going on when you get afflicted by a purple bottle, it does feel much nicer now with that purple bottle to just not be completely blindsided and all that shit. It doesn't feel that bad anymore, but it still doesn't feel good being slowed down in chase, and I don't know. It's hard to have fun even if he's weak, despite his bottles. Spirit has jumped so much in my opinions on her. Because I used to say I liked her a lot. I used to say I didn't like her at all. I used to say she's just in the middle because of how variable she can be. I've said a lot on her. I think she's going in B tier for me. She's below Huntress because sometimes you can't dodge her in the 50-50. Sometimes you're just going to lose 50-50s. Which, fair enough. You shouldn't expect to win every 50-50 against the Spirit. I don't know. That's really the only... That's the real gripe I have with her. It's dealing with those situations where you're not going to be able to get away from her easily. And you're either just going to have to take a hit or not in some cases. I think that's why she's not more fun for me. It's because otherwise, getting past that, I think she's just generally in a similar case of she's fun, but not crazy fun, like when going against Huntress now. For Legion, I still gotta put Legion. Yeah, I'm sucking off. I might be sucking off fucking Frank or Joey or whoever the fuck, but come on. I'm sorry. I'm too much of a sucker for the heavy metal music, and actually whooping in Frenzy in the right circumstance can feel really good. It can just feel, hell, in most circumstances, it just feels good. I'm gonna be headbanging to the music, and I'm gonna be. The thing is, I get that the mending, again, I get that the mending sucks, but the joy of playing against Legion is when you play against him and you're able to actually chase him well while he's either in his power or just not in his power. It's more, excuse me, it's more so chasing him in his power that I find enjoyment in. Because if you can have a good chase while he's in his power, and you can even cockblock them from getting a hit. Ooh. It's definitely much more fun to play against, in my opinion, than it is to play as. Although, overall, I'm biased towards them. I like them. I think overall, they just have to go in the S tier. They're definitely more fun to play against than play as. Plague, I only have issues with when the teammates I have... I don't want to come in too hot. But, god damn it, Plague just feels like such a mess to play against sometimes. And it completely depends on circumstance and teammates. It can either be a absolutely amazing close match, or it can be over before a gen is done, depending on what happens. I think overall, like, trying to look at it in general, not assuming bad of teammates, or assuming from any foul or unlikable play, I guess, from the killer, I think that they're probably better than Pig in the right circumstance. The only issue, it just feels, it's not that people don't necessarily know how to go against her. It's just the fact that people have, it's because, I mean, I also play a lot of solo queue, so maybe I'm basing this too much off of solo queue. It just feels like there's too much sometimes that goes on in the match in order for the trial match, whatever the fuck. I don't know. She's just a weird case. I think she's fun overall. I do like her power, even though it's hard to dodge for me. I don't know. It's really hard to like hone in on where I stand with her without trying to delve into scenarios, and I don't want to do that too much. So I'm gonna say that overall she's fun. Currently top of B tier. That's where I'm gonna stand. Ghostface is a more fun. Ghostface is probably one of the more fun killers, if not. No, yeah, fuck, I'll say it. Ghostface is the most fun of the stealth killers for me. His what is it? His reveal mechanic still feels janky. I'll say that. His reveal mechanic still feels like there's jank behind it. But getting past that, he's generally nice. Because he's a stealth killer, I don't feel nearly as frustrated when I go against him. And he uses his stealth to mind game, because, you know, that's kind of what he has at his hands, is his stealth. I don't know. I feel like there's not much to say about him. I'm a sucker for. I'm a bit of a sucker for Ghostface. I'm a bit biased. They're fun to go against. Yeah. And then again, I got here another Captain Obvious. Demogorgon's very fun. You're hard to do. I think I'm not gonna beat the dead horse. I've said what I wanted to say about him, probably in the past. Demogorgon is just fun. And everything about him feels nice to play as and play against. Definitely more fun to versus than to play as. Yeah. Playing against Oni feels a little. Oh. Are they better than Billy or not? I honestly think I have more fun playing against Billy than I do Oni. They both fall under the same kind of gameplay, which I love, because they both are very scary in their power, but being able to chase them in their power. I think the reason why Oni is below Billy is because Oni has much more leeway than Billy. Billy, you need precision. Oni, you can slide off of stuff, and you can even do stuff like doing 180s by brushing against something and all that. What, 180s? Is that right? I guess more like mind games, where you look like you're going one way, but then you go the other. It's the fact that he has much more freedom in his movement compared to Billy. I think that drops him a few pegs, because then it makes it harder. And although hard is a fun challenge, sometimes with how he is, you might be in a situation where you won't be able to dodge him, unlike with Billy, due to his not needing to, because he doesn't slam into a wall like with Billy when you use his power. Going against Slinger, he's definitely fun. I wouldn't say he's very fun anymore, if I have said that in the past, but I definitely think he's pretty good. Sometimes a little boring, depending on what happens. But overall, just a good, fun killer. Pyramid Head. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I like going against Pyramid Head a lot. I think a lot of people do, in fact. Quote me if I'm wrong. Actually, no, don't quote me on that. Never mind. Don't quote me on that. But I like Pyramid Head a lot. His ranged attack actually feels fun to dodge compared to Huntress's. Partially because it's more telegraphed, I guess, if that... Would that really make sense? I don't know. Overall, I just find Pyramid Head to be a more fun ranged killer to go against. It's really nice when you go against a good one and you're able to juke the power. The only complaint is that the trails sometimes can be a pain in the ass. But, to be honest, I don't really think that's a big caveat. Blighty boy, I love you, but I think I love going against Pyramid Head a little more than you. But actually, no, I'm sorry. I could never do that to you. God damn it, work! There we go. I could never do that to you, Blight. You're top of A tier. I'm biased. I'll say that right off the bat. I'm biased, but... Okay, I'm going fucking crazy. That can't be my computer. That can't not be my computer. Okay, if anyone's still here, did anyone just hear fucking Windows notification? But did it sound distant at all? You know what? Whatever. I don't even care anymore. I'm just gonna forget about it. Blight You didn't hear anything, so I'm just going crazy. Alright, good to know. Alright, never mind. My father, his computer setup is in the same room as mine. He's not here right now, but I think it keeps making notifications and I keep hearing it, so it's just like, excuse me, stop making me think that's my computer. But yeah, I don't think I can say much new about Blight. Blight feels like a strong killer that you can actually counter compared to Nurse, in my opinion. I understand what Nurse's counterplay is. I just don't like her counterplay as much. Because at least with Blight, you can do some tricky movement to catch him off. With Nurse, her counterplay is really just doubling back if you can. And as well as line of sight blocking, which is completely fair. Line of sight, having information is the most valuable thing you have. So the Nurse not being able to see you and having to try and guess where you are, I can understand that being valuable and enjoyable to some people. It just doesn't hit it for me. That's why I don't like her. I guess just going back to explaining her. Twins. Oh boy. Excuse me. I remember Twins from the PTB. I did not play against you, but I saw the videos, and you were a nightmare. Now you're in this state where you've got most of the quality of life, but you still play generally the same otherwise. I still don't see you too often, but I'll say this. I still don't exactly like you. That said, I can't say I hate you either, so I guess... I don't know. I feel like I keep lying to myself every time I put her in C tier, because I just don't really see anything of value when I play against her. That's not to say that she's a bad killer. They're a bad killer by any means. I just can't really find anything enjoyable about them. Victor still feels pretty weird sometimes. I think that might just be due down to, like, collision or hitboxes or some shit. I don't remember if they did any of that touch-up or not, but I don't know. Trickster. Oh, tricky boy. Trickster's such a tough one now. Because now he feels... So Trickster's issue was that he was oppressive but weak. Has he changed much? Not necessarily. Ads are coming in 3 minutes for anyone without subs or turbo. I don't know. I'll put him above Doctor, but I just I can't tell if I like him or not. That's the thing. I don't really feel too strong. Like he's frustrating when he's sniffing your butt and he's shoving a bunch of knives up your butt. That don't feel good. But I don't know. At the same time, like, yeah, he's more fun to play than he is to play against. I'll say that much. I like that he got buffed. I like his buffs, but he still falls under just an category in terms of playing against him. Nemesis is fun. I'd say generally less fun than Slinger, and the reason for that is solely because of his zombies. His zombies can be assaholic if they're bad. Although a good amount of the time you're also not going to notice zombies. Getting past that, he's got a pretty fun tentacle attack to dodge, but that's about it. Pinhead. Ooh, you came into B tier. Wow. Clean up after yourself. I'm sorry. I've expressed my opinions on Pinhead a lot. Yeah, it's anti-loop. It's not the most fun to go against, but his voice lines, his design aesthetic, it's enough for me to overall enjoy him. And plus, dodging his chain is actually pretty nice when you're able to dodge it. Now, I know that Celine's not here, but Celine would not be happy with me if I put Artist in D tier, but I am so sorry. I still don't like Artist. I still don't like her. This is probably, again, skill issue on my part. I just don't get her at all. Maybe I'm stupid as shit, which is completely fair. I hate how little you see Pinhead inside of the actual Hellraiser movie. Do you actually not see him that often in the movie? I'm not very aware of the movies and like the base content most of the licenses are. So if you actually don't see him that much in the movie, that's I wonder why he's so popular then. Interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I focus too much on the artists that use their powers for anti-loot, but like that's you see him at the beginning and close to the end. I wonder why he doesn't appear that much in the movie then. Oh, adds any second now. But with artists, I think the reason why I dislike her so much, it's just because she's so strong with anti-loop. And since that's what she's good at, it feels like you get put into situations with her where you have nothing to do. You can't do anything against her. That's why she just doesn't hit it for me. Not that aside from maybe 1 or 2 of the killer roster, I can say overall, none of them are necessarily straight up bad. I just don't think she's fun to go against as Survivor. There's a good bit of them, so they probably more like shown in there. I don't know, honestly. I don't know the movies, so I can't say with Pinhead. Onryō, you're a mess. You were weak, and then you're strong, and now you're in this weird hybrid state where I think you're still weak, but stronger than with your release state. I don't even know anymore with her. I don't know anymore with Onryō, man. I really don't know. I don't hate her, but I'm also not jumping for joy at her. I'm putting her. Yeah, I kind of have to. I'm putting her at the bottom of C tier. She just doesn't make sense to me anymore. Not that she's bad. I just can't. I don't know. I struggle to find anything redeemable about her, but I just can't say I hate going against her. I just don't feel anything anymore. She's just like, oh, okay, this is a match. Yeah, it could be better, but this is a match. Dredge is, ooh, you know what? Yeah, Dredge is nice. Dredge is nice. Completely carried by that fucking Dredge is carried by Nightfall. The Nightfall is so beautiful. Oh my god. They brought horror back. I keep saying this every goddamn fucking time I talk about Dredge, but his Nightfall adds horror into the game, which is amazing. That being said, he's still he's just M1, I guess. But he at least has, well, he has the lockers, so that opens up mind game potential. And then he has his remnant, which is nice for mind games. So Nightfall and his little quirks, I think he's pretty fun. Just barely enough to get out of B tier, where he's fun, but a little eh. I generally enjoy going against Dredge. Herder, predictable, Wesker in S tier, blah 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 blah, burn at the stake. I'm sorry. I mean, there's not much new to say that hasn't already been said. Wesker's power is fun. It's strong, it feels good to use, and it feels good to go against. It's nice to counter. It doesn't feel too oppressive, but at the same time, it feels just strong enough where it's a challenge. A good challenge. So they're going in S tier. He's going in S tier. I think he's above Demo. He's definitely above Demo. Yeah. And, okay, this is the last killer in D tier, I swear. This is the last killer in D tier. And it's Skull Merchant. Predictably, she's at the bottom. I know. she's been changed a lot, but just because she's been changed a lot doesn't mean that she's any better than what she used to be. She's still... I'm sorry to the 1 to 3% of people out there that enjoy her, but nothing adds up enough for me to enjoy her. Her old power was so unfun to go against. And now she just sits in this weird limbo where she's got so much power bloat going on that I'm too fucking smooth-brained to understand her. But at the same time, she doesn't always feel as bad as other killers to go against sometimes. It's just the fact that it's the fact that, in my opinion, she's just too messy of a character still. I understand that original characters take a lot of time to work on, but she really feels like... Hold on a second. So, okay. Knight, Skull Merchant, Singularity. All 3 of them are original characters. 2 of them are much better designed from an aesthetic standpoint, while you have Skull Merchant in between. Okay. This might be like conspiracy theory. I think the reason why she doesn't feel that well designed could just be because she wasn't given as much time for design choices, period. I mean, if you take a look at Knight and you take a look at Singularity, they both have flaws with them. Knight, people really don't like his AI, and Singularity can be one of the fucking nastiest 3-gen holders. But they both offer nice... They both offer their own freshness and uniqueness that feels at least good enough to find enjoyment in. But Skull Merchant, she's messy. She doesn't come together. She does not come together. Her design is all over the place. Her power is all over the place. She's basically it's almost like they took her, and put her in a meat grinder, ground it up, and then what came out is what remains of her now. And it's the fact that she's just not consistent anymore. She's so all over the place. I can't enjoy it anymore. Well, I mean, I guess I never enjoyed it to begin with, because it just... I'll at least say this. She had potential. She had a bit of potential, but I think it's just too far gone now. And based off the state that she's in now, I don't think there's going to be much change anytime soon, so even if it's begrudgingly, I'm going to have to just get used to it. But even if that means getting used to it, I can still say I do not like playing as her. I do not think she's fun to go against. So she will be in D tier at the bottom. And then, predictably, I think Singularity's jumped up to S tier. I have found... Ooh, how fun, though. How fun. You know what? I'm gonna do it. No, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. I don't care if this is not if I lose integrity for this or not. I think Singularity is one of the most fun killers in the game to go against. It can suck getting slipstreamed and teleported to, but you can do so much in Chase when you're slipstreamed. Here's the thing. Yes, you're in danger. He can teleport to you, gain distance, and hit you if you're not careful. He can hit you through a pallet if you drop it on him during overclock and you're not careful. But once you learn to start pre-dropping pallets if he's in his overclocked, or to bait him at windows so he teleports beside the window and not in the window where he's able to hit you, he has so much potential to be fucked with in Chase that you can have some of the most banger chases of your life. And I love that. The only thing I don't love, and this is more me coming from a killer standpoint, I don't like that you can just grab EMPs mid-chase and use them, but that's for another day. I think he's one of the most fun killers in the game to go against. The only downside, I guess, is when he's zoning. But even then, there are ways to mitigate it. There are ways to mitigate it. And with the changes to stuff like 3-genning and all that, he doesn't really feel... He doesn't feel that bad anymore in this circumstance. He still isn't great, but focusing solely on the chase, he's got some of the best chase in the game. Alien, I'm going to put below Spirit. I have fun with Alien. My only gripe is just I don't like their tail attack. I still don't like that it's not very well telegraphed and that it's hard to dodge. Part of that is skill issue, I will concede. A lot of that is probably skill issue. But it still at least feels rewarding to dodge, and you still can dodge it. It's just hard. Sometimes there's going to be moments where you might not be able to in the situation that you put yourself into, but in general, I think they're fun if a bit boring. It's similar to Spirit, except with Spirit, there's the fun in tricking her and phasing. You can't really do as much tricks with Alien once they're in crawler mode. And with how the tail attack can be, it can feel a little bad sometimes. And, okay. Chucky. I am so conflicted on Chucky. I think of all people, Sad knows this the most. I mean, well, Sad hate you. I know you hate Chucky a lot, and I think I've said this to you so much, but he's hard. He's hard to enjoy. He's gotten harder and harder and harder to enjoy over time. And I do not want to base him off of stereotypes. I do not want to base him off stereotypes, but I feel like there's a weird reason why a good amount of people that play Chucky either BM or play in a, I guess, quote-unquote unsavory, non-survivor rulebook friendly way. And although I don't give a fuck at the end of the day if you tunnel immediately at 5 hooks or not, at least have the decency to not BM. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm being too aggressive. I've found myself enjoying him less and less over time. I like dodging his lunge attacks, but sometimes they don't feel good to dodge, and even with the nerf scamper, there are just times where his scamper still sucks to fall victim to. And then there's the hidey-ho, which the only reason I have an issue with it is because he's already so strong in chase. I don't understand why he needs stealth when, debatably, he is the stealthiest killer in the game by being the smallest killer in the game. Although, I can at least say, despite the fact that his stealth can suck ass to play against, he doesn't feel horrible when you're at least going against his power. Wait, his dashing. His dashing. I really struggle to enjoy him. I really do. And that's why he's teetering between C and D. Because I have 5 killers in D tier, I can't in good conscience say that he's on the same level with Twins or Nurse, Clown, Scully. I can't do that. But he's been falling over time. I want to like him, I just can't. Unknown is another case of I want to like him, but I can't. Except, I can like him. A pretty decent amount. Excuse me. There's still other killers I would rather go against more. I'm still not used to going against Unknown as a whole. But I can say that I think Unknown is definitely a solid B. Definitely a solid B. I do like Unknown quite a bit. His power's hard to dodge, but I feel like that mostly just stems from me not knowing how to loop against him properly still. And he's incredible from a design standpoint. So yeah, he'll be in B. I can't technically rank the newest killer yet, but based off of what I've seen, I think he's going to be somewhere in B tier as well, until he gets his changes. Solely because of the fact that he's got a lot at his disposal, but it's like a lot of creative stuff at his disposal. He may be underpowered due to all the cooldowns and shit, but he's got potential, I think, to actually not be too bad to go against. So if I had to rank him somewhere, he'd be somewhere in B tier. They also add a lot to the game. They do. There's a lot added to the game with him. Honestly, you know what? Okay, first things first, I'm gonna bump up Slinger to A tier. I think I'm being a little too... Oh, fuck it, no, I'll leave him. I'll be true, no, I'll be real. I can't say that I like him more than Dredge, so... I haven't gone against him yet, so I'm gonna be fair and I'm gonna put him in the middle of B tier. Just because it's very experimental and he adds a lot of stuff. I think this is the, I guess, up-to-date, as of fucking sometime in May, tier list on how fun I think each killer is to versus. I can believe that he's fun, I do not want to rank him higher or lower when I have no experience of going against him and only have secondhand experience. It's the same reason why, what the fuck did I just do? Fuck you, Google Chrome. It's the same reason why I have a bunch of killers and I haven't played and I didn't rank them. Doctor being an exception because it was a formal agreement. I want to only rank something if I have the... If I've experienced going against it. I don't want to go off of theoretical when it comes to how fun something is to go against, because theory is not the same as reality. You can, because you could, I mean, now I'm just like rambling, but I just don't think it's right to rank him when I haven't really played against him. So that's why he's going middle of B. He's like the most average, I guess. Then if I'm putting him anywhere, I'm putting him in like the most average position, if I can. And based off of how my fucking tier list is somehow like almost perfectly symmetrical, like a bell curve, middle of B tier is the closest I can get to middle of the road. If I was being real on where Knight would be, Knight's somewhere in A tier, by the way. Because I've warmed up to him quite a bit. And that's not just me having a crush on him. But yeah, okay. I think I said this before. This is the official tier list and how fun I think each killer is to versus.